In this video, we're looking at a new control structure, the do loop. The do loop is a lot like the while loop. The two main differences are that the condition is tested at the bottom of the loop instead of the top, and that means that the code in the body of the loop always runs at least once. So we're going to look at that using this cool visualization tool, pythontutor.com, and I encourage you to try this on your own too. So here's the code. We declare a message variable. The max variable is used to compute the multiplication table 5 times whatever up to that number. So this will do the first three, 1, 2, 3, 5 times 1, 5 times 2, 5 times 3. I is the loop variable. And here we see the do loop is started with the keyword do, and then we've got the code at the body of the loop here. Inside it, we compute the I times 5, and we display it to the console. We increment the value, and then at the bottom, the while keyword tests the condition. Let's watch that. So this cool little tool allows us to single step through the code and actually watch the code, the execution flow of the code. On the left-hand side is the code itself. On the right-hand side, you can see what would be the console output, and you can see the variables and their values as you step through the code. This is a really good way to get a feel for how the programs run. And then we can single step through the code. There's the first couple of steps. Notice that each time I execute a line of code, it updates the value of that. So now, after executing the first 3 lines of code, the message variable has been initialized to an empty string. Max has been initialized to 3, and the loop variable has been initialized to 1. Now let's watch the loop. It's just starting the do loop, and it's about to update the message variable. Notice that it now has a string there, and output that to the console, and it'll increment the value of I from 1 to 2. Now we're at the bottom of the loop, and it's about to test that loop condition, and since I is 2 and max is 3, that condition will evaluate to true. I will be less than or equal to 3. So it will go back up to the top of the loop and do it again. And now at the bottom of the loop, I is 3 now, max is still 3, so I less than or equal to 3, that logical condition will still be true because I is less than or equal to 3. So we'll go through again. It'll generate that third line. And now, notice that I is 4, so when it hits this while loop, or when it hits this condition at the bottom of the do loop, it will exit out of the loop and exit the code. So that's the do loop. Let's take a look now at how we can change this loop, just so you can see how compare it to a while loop. Let's take a look at how we can change this code to become a while loop. There's a few things we need to change. First, of course, we have to change the keywords. So that puts it more into the structure of the while loop. We have to move our test up to the top of the loop. And then we're going to have to make a few other changes. Because if we just do this, what do you think is going to happen? Let's watch this. Because all I did is I moved the thing around. And we'll skim through here. Now, while I is less than or equal to max, it's testing the loop at the top. So it prints out the first line, second line, boom. And there you have it. So the change was very simple. I just needed to move those pieces around. Sometimes it's a little more complicated, but in this case, it was a very easy change to change from the do loop to the while loop. So, the main differences between a do loop and a while loop are that the do loop always executes the code at least once, and the test is at the bottom, whereas the while loop always does the test at the top and may or may not execute that code.